Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Ignite After Dark. Here we are, man. Congratulations on being here. Guys, what is this? Number five, step five? Here we are. Let's go. We're going to have people coming in, and that's okay. We're going to have a little fun today. I apologize that I am not the most attractive instructor you ever had, and yet I will do my best to make sure that this is fun, entertaining, and that we get some good nuggets out of this. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kyle Evans. I am a bold coach. I am a Keller Williams University certified. I'm a mega agent here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, so way down in the deep South, and it is my honor and my privilege to be able to hang out with you guys for a couple hours today, man, kick it around and learn some stuff along the way. If you can see this room here that I'm in here all by myself. So what I'm going to need, I don't know what the other people did. What I'm going to do here is I like engagement. I like to talk to you guys. I get bored real easy. So we're going to have some fun, man. Use that little hand raise icon down there on the Zooms. If you want to jump in, if you want to share something, I'll do my best to answer the chat as we go. And today, guys, we are talking about generating our leads. My goodness gracious, if there is a more important topic when it comes to KW lore, I don't know what it is. So buckle up, stay tuned, and let's dive into our material. At this point, you should have a participant guide. I trust that each and every one of you have that. I will be referring to that as we go along. So just heads up there, be ready to take some notes, man. Be ready to jot some stuff down. Be ready also, one of my absolute passions as a coach and as a speaker is to help challenge those limiting beliefs we may be carrying around. So be ready to challenge some of those things as we go forward in this course, and let's just dive in. Let's get going, man. Welcome to Ignite. As I said, there are four-part series with Ignite, right? You guys, congratulations. You're on step five. So you have moved past the beginning, and now we're starting together the second phase of Ignite. And this is all around lead generation. And what does that look like? So the courses for lead generation breakdown is such as you can see on the screen. Today is about generating leads. Guys, without leads, we do not have a business, man. So leads are one of the most important things that we can do. And it's so important. There is a mustachio gentleman. His name is Gary Keller. He is the billion-dollar man. He is the founder of Keller Williams. And Gary Keller has programmed lead generation into all of our courses at such a high level because it's that important that, guys, at any time during Ignite, during your careers with KW, if the instructor asks a question and you don't know the answer, if you just shout out lead generation, you're going to be right like 50% of the time. So that's how important this is. So I'm glad that you guys are here. And luckily, I get to carry the baton for this one. And let's dive in, man. So, lead generation. When we think of lead generation, when we think of what it looks like, I'd like to hear from you guys. What are some of your ideas around this? What do you think? Raise a hand and tell me what you think. Yes, Finn.
So Gary Keller talks about the three L's, which
Mm,
is lead, leverage, and the other one I forgot.
listings. Pretty
Listing,
close.
yes.
Love it. Good for
Listing,
you.
yes. And so lead is anything that generate business. So it could be farming, it could be talking to your database, it could be going door to door, talking to people and engaging people. So
Love that. Those are all great things. Yes, Jesse Coleman got to hang out with me in Bowl today, and here he is in Ignite. Jesse, what you got?
To me, lead generation is everything. If I'm at the grocery store with my Keller Williams t-shirt on and somebody said, "Oh my God, what does Keller Williams mean?" Oh, thank you for asking. So, I look at lead gen as the lifeline of our business. So whenever there's a chance to have a conversation with somebody, I'm definitely taking it.
Man, guys, I just want you to understand what an honor it is to have Jesse in here. Jesse is a amazing productivity coach and my KWU friend. Guys, Jesse Coleman is not just an imposing figure with his big old noggin, his brain. He's got like the biggest shoulders in the world. So I got a news for you, Jesse. If someone's asking you what Keller Williams is, it's probably because they're frightened of how large you are in person. Just a heads up. But hey, if it leads to lead generation, that's good too, man. Let's keep on moving. What are some of the topics that we're going to talk about today? Well, as you can see on the screen, we're going to talk about you, the lead generator. What does that look like? How do we generate business from people that we
I don't
already
know. Just do something.
How do we generate business from people that we already know? Man, we're going to talk about identifying our sphere of influence, right? How do we figure out the people that we already know and what that could be worth? We're going to categorize the importance of that sphere so we can make sure that we're spending our time appropriately. We're also going to talk about some best practices and great ways to go about the lead generation as a whole. So again, man, be ready to jot some notes, be ready to mastermind a little bit as we cruise on through. And as always with Ignite, guys, we're going to get into activity today. We're going to make some calls, some texts, maybe some little Facebook messages and see what we can generate together. I will tell you, I love the text messages. We were just left the bold room today, man, and we were able to generate in that 7 weeks together with some of these lead generation practices, $235 million in volume with just 48 agents. So I'm going to share some of those secrets with you guys today so we can get started on building your own business, whatever you desire that to look like for yourself. There's one thing that I am known for as a coach, and Jesse can attest to this. It is truth bombs. So I've got a big old truth bomb for you guys right here on the screen. This is from Gary Keller. He said, my fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generating. My fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generating. I desire you guys to understand this and hear me. I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you, because what I didn't tell you on my introduction is I've been a real estate agent for about 10 years now. And when I started, I used to be a dual career agent. I was a dual career agent for a few years. And guys, I was awful, just not good. I am shocked that people let me write contracts for like 30 years of their life. And yet here we are. Well, then I decided to go full time. And it turned out to not be like HGTV. It turned out to be really hard. Business wasn't falling out of the sky and landing on my lap. I wasn't getting $1 million deals. Heck, I wasn't getting any deals. And it came down to because I wasn't putting in the work. But here's why I wasn't putting in the work. I was scared. I had such a fear of rejection that it crippled me. I had such a fear of rejection, it stopped me in my tracks. Guys, one of the first weeks that I was full-time, ready to crush it and take on the world, I sat in front of a computer screen for 8 hours. Not because I was doing a bunch of business, not because I was playing Farmville or on Facebook or whatever these kids are doing these days. I was looking at a call list and I was scared to call. I sat there in fear for 8 hours, and my shame continued when I got home. And my wife said, how did it go today? We're really counting on this taking off. And I said, it went okay. It did not go okay. My fear of rejection was greater than my fear of paying the bills, than my fear of taking care of my family, taking care of the people who were most important to me. And then I had a coach one time explain to me where that came from. And this may be you and it may not be you, and yet I'll share it for those who it might work for. She said, the reason you're so scared of rejection is because your vision of your own self-worth is too low. And I was like, ouch, I'm paying you for that. That really hurt. And after I recovered, I realized she was right. Guys, I was letting a simple no, a simple not interested, a simple not right now dictate how I viewed myself and my own self-worth. And I got to tell you, when that changed, when I changed the story I was telling myself, when I changed the fear I was telling myself about lead generation, guys, it became fun. There's a guy on my team, and he is not a people-y person. So if you guys are not people-y people, I got news for you. You can still crush it in this business. He had to flip his own script in his head from out there going to make a certain amount of contacts. He changed it to, I'm going to go get 90 no's this week. My goal is to have 90 people tell me nah. Because the no's were so much easier to get for him than the yeses. And guys, what we know with mathematical certainty in this business, if you make enough calls and say the right things, you will get every single amount of business you desire. Yet it starts right here. So if you're struggling with that, maybe start to gamify it for yourself. Hey, if I can go get 90 no's this week, I know there's going to be an appointment in there. It all starts with how we think, because our beliefs become our behaviors, and our behaviors become our business or become our life. So when we're thinking about lead generation, we're thinking about some of the fears around that. Guys, start to marinate on that as we go through this, and let's talk about them, because they're going to come up here even further in a second. Before we get there, though, I want to bring up the 6 core competencies of a business. And this is in your participant guide, and this comes straight from the book Shift. So they say lead generation, right? Capture and converting leads to appointments. That's number 1. That's at the top for a reason. Number 2 is present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. Hello. Number 3 is show buyers and market sellers. Number 4, write and negotiate contracts. Number 5, coordinate the sale to closing. And number 6, manage the money. Well, it all sounds good, but here's the thing. We don't get to 2 through 6 if we don't have any leads. We don't get to appointments if we haven't talked to people. And here's the thing. If people don't know what we do, they're never going to raise their hand to do business with us. So until we earn the right to get those come list me calls, until we earn the right to get people blowing up our phones, we got to go out and do the hunting. And we're going to do that together today, man. So lead generation is our number 1 job. Now, we heard from some of you earlier about what we think lead generation is. What I'd like to ask you is, let's kind of mastermind on this topic here. What do you think are ways to lead generate? Let's hear from some of you. Let me see a hand up. What do you think are some ways we can lead generate? Jesse already said wearing his KW swag, his Keller Williams shirt. What do you guys think? Yes, Kelly.
Letters.
Letters. Love that. Sending out letters. We have door knock here in the chat. I see social media in the chat. What else? Mallory.
I would say maybe like tables at events.
Cool. Tables at events. That's awesome. That's getting out there. Guys, Mallory brings up a great point. Real estate is a contact sport. It's so important. They made a t-shirt out of it. You can go buy it at Mega Camper Family Reunion. Real estate is a contact sport. We got to go get belly to belly with people. We got to go shake some hands and kiss some babies. So having a table at an event is an awesome one. Finn.
Emailing.
Emailing, absolutely, right? Getting on the little keyboard, knocking it out. I'm seeing networking events with business cards, seminars, networking events. Yes, absolutely. These are great ones. Jamila, I hope I'm saying that right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are actively listening to people. So asking a question and saying, hey, how's it going? What's going on in your life? And actively listen to what's actually going on with them and being genuine with them.
So I've got to apologize because I thought that we were doing Ignite, and Ignite was for new agents. And here you are giving us a master course on the next level. You're already steps ahead of us, guys. Active listening, like there's an important person on the other end of the conversation, making them feel seen, making them feel heard, will take your lead generation to the next level. So fantastic response there. So let's keep diving in here, guys. Lead generation fears and myths. These are very common, and you might be experiencing some of these yourself. So let's see what they say. I think lead generation is really difficult. Okay. I don't have time to lead generate. Guys, as a coach, I get to coach agents around the nation. If I had $1 for every time someone told me they didn't have time to lead generate, I would not be here. I would be on a yacht in Bora Bora somewhere, living my best life. That is one of the most common things of all time. And I got news for you. There is always time for things that are of high priority to ourself. Number 3 that they say is, I don't know what to say. Guys, that is one of the number 1 objections real estate agents have. Hey, I don't know what to say. I'm going to give you some tools and some tips and some tricks around what to say. Another one is, I'm afraid of making mistakes. I'm going to go ahead and pop this bubble for you guys right now. I make mistakes all the time. I've probably made a mistake since we've started this Ignite call together. I'm probably going to make another mistake before we're even done. Mistakes are going to happen. Mistakes happen to everybody, and we've got to stop beating ourselves up or thinking that they're the end of the world, because they're not. So just understand that. But here's the cool thing about these fears and myths. Gary Keller's got some wisdom for us. He said, I was confusing effort with enjoyment. Lead generation is actually easy. It's just not fun. Here's the thing. There are people, mega agents all around the nation, who will tell you that they've found a way to make lead generation fun. But what I do want you to understand is lead generation does take effort. It does take work. And it's simple once we get down to the core of it. Guys, it's just people talking to people. I bet that each and every one of you at some point in your life has had a conversation with another human being. I bet. Guys, that's all lead gen is. We got to get out of our own way. We got to stop churching it up to think that it's something that it's not. Sharice, I see you with your hand up. You got something for us?
Oh, I was trying to um, unraise it, but since I have it up there, I put in the chat. I was at the car dealership today for a repair, and with the ladies that were sitting there with me, we just got to talking about health and wellness, and we all introduced ourselves, and I walked away with 3 leads right there.
My goodness. Don't take it from me, guys. Take it from Sharice right there. It's just being out in the world, talking to people, being a nice person, smiling a little bit, ask them about their day. Well, we heard Jamila say, active listening, treating someone like they're important. Guys, another one that we have here is, I don't have time to lead generate. Gary said he had an issue of making time to lead generate. That's the difference. We have the time. We just got to make the time. I don't know what to say. I had to get on the path of mastering the dialogue skills needed in the business. One of the things that is so slept on in this entire industry is practicing what to say and how to say it. And years ago, I took this from one of the top coaches in the world at the time, Tony DeCello. And he said, guys, if you practice what to say and how to say it for 3 hours each week, hear me, 3 hours each week, you will be better than 90% of the agents in your market. Think about that for a second. It sounds so simple because it is. Guys, if you know what to say and how to say it, nothing separates you from a top agent. Nothing. That's all this business is connecting with people and chatting with them and talking to them and using our tonality and our question influence. We got to start practicing. And like we said, the last one was, I was afraid of making mistakes. Well, he said, I found that lead generation is nothing more than a set of tasks and skills that are well documented. Guys, success leaves clues. And you have the beautiful honor and opportunity to be in the top real estate company in the entire world. There are tons and tons of scripts, conversation models, and things that we can learn and lean into to grow our business as big as we desire. Now, one of the things that I want you to do is look in your participant guide. You'll see this awesome little circle here with some people. When I talk about lead generation, some of the fears that people say, some of the things that they think about that trigger them when they hear that word is, well, Kyle, I don't want to just sit and cold call a bunch of strangers all day. I got news for you. Me either. I could think of literally a million things I would rather do than cold calling strangers. Probably not supposed to say that. I might get fired, but hey, here we are anyway. I'm just going to be honest with you guys always. The cool thing about that is we don't have to. We can call something that's called our sphere of influence, or what's referred to as an SOI. Guys, when you hear sphere of influence, let me see some hands. What do you think I'm talking about when I say sphere of influence? Mallory.
The people that you are closest with, like close family and friends.
Cool. Love that. People you're closest with, close family and friends. What else? Who's got another idea? Geraldine says, everyone you know. I like that. Tanisha.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna say. Any and everyone that you know that you can influence. So I think like a circle, like anybody around me when I think of sphere. So anybody that I can touch, whether it be walking outside, touching them on my Facebook, on my Instagram, like anywhere that I have some type of influence on, that's my sphere.
That's right. That's awesome. I love what you said there. The circle, right? A sphere is a circle. Who can you reach out and touch, guys? And she even took it another level. She said even her social media. Guys, our social media is not necessarily the people who know, like, or trust us. They're technically at arm's reach sometimes, and yet we can still be influential on them. We can still generate business and leads from them. It's just a matter of getting tactical. One of the number one ways that we instill upon people to lead generate is your phone. Is that thing that some of you guys are on right now, texting each other like, I don't know who this guy is, I'm bored already. And yet it's one of those things that we're going to use every single day in our business. And so what I'm going to tell you right now is that I bet there is more money in that phone than you're thinking right now. And don't take my word for it. I'm going to show you. Now, I know it's nighttime for most of us, and yet we're going to do a little math. We're going to do some mathy math. I am not the biggest fan of math, so I got to lead into it and build you guys up for it. So let's dive in, man. In your participant guides, what looks like to me page 11, you're going to see this example that I'm showing on the screen. A, B, C, D, E, and F. So what I'm going to ask you to do is this. Pull out that phone, the one that you're probably already on right now. Pull that bad boy out. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to contacts, your phone book, and you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, all the way down to the bottom. At the bottom, there's a number there. It says number of contacts. Now, for you in your own notes, we're going to do this math together. Write down what that number is. Write down what that number is. By the way, guys, that was an example for an iPhone. If you're an Android user, sorry, get a better phone. Just saying, no judgment. There's, blue bubble gang all day. So write down that number in your notes. Write it down in line number A, and we're going to work this math together. So line A, whatever you got, I'm seeing 1,000, 1,654, 1,230. That's awesome. So line B, this is where the math kicks in. We've all got that contact number down in line A. Line B, we're going to talk about the math. Potential closing opportunities from our contacts, from the contacts we already have. All right, the contacts we already have. The closing opportunity is this. You see a very specific number that we're multiplying by. All right, A times 0.081. Now, let me break that number down for you. They didn't just magically come up with that. They used statistical data to track this. So what I want you to understand how they came up with that number is about 64% of the United States is homeowners. About 64% of the United States owns their home right now. They also found that people tend to move on average every 7 to 10 years, and they're calling it 8 for the exercise. So when you math all that together, you get about 8% of the population, or 8% of your database, is transacting real estate each year. So in line B, what I'm going to ask you to do is multiply the number of contacts times 0.081 and write that number in there. Line C, the next one, potential referrals in our database. Guys, referrals are when people send us business, when people offer us business, when people say, hey, you got to connect with Susan. Here's Susan's number. She's looking to buy or sell. Again, they have a very specific number. You're going to take line A and you're going to multiply it by 10% or by 0.1. They came up with this because Keller Williams has been tracking data of its agents for years now. And what they found using Command is that agents using Command at a high level, and when people are on 2 smart plans, if you haven't got into that yet, you will, that they should be expecting about a 10% referral return on their database. So in line C, multiply 8 by 0.1. Write that number in there. Now, next up, line D, we are going to add B plus C. We are going to add lines 2 and lines 3, lines B and line C. Add those together and write that number in line D. I desire you guys to understand that number that you see there is the potential amount of deals in your database right now as it sits. In your phone book right now as it sits, that is the potential amount of statistical deals right now. Now we're going to take this a step further in line E. Average commission. I don't know what your commission is. I'm not allowed to talk about what your commission is or what you plan to charge. Write that in for your area, what the average commission is or what you expect to get. It could be 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever it is for you guys. Write that in line E. What I can tell you, no, can't tell you that. Just saying. Write that in. So line F, what we are going to do is we are going to multiply our average commission by the total potential of deals. All right, so we're going to multiply line D by line E. D times line E, that's going to give us F. Now, as you're coming out of this exercise and you're looking at line F, and you're looking at the potential money, the potential opportunity, the potential earnings that are in your database right now, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Share some of those numbers with me. What are you guys seeing? I have been doing this a long time. I've heard them all. So what do you guys got? Yeah, Kevin.
I came up with, my first number was 1,185. Then you lead it all the way down to the bottom, and they came up to 1,286,910. And then I'm like, wow.
Yes, sir. So what I heard you say, Kevin, is thank you, Kyle, for bringing this opportunity to me. I cannot wait to take you on vacation with me when I close all these deals. Kevin, that's what's up. That's awesome. Man, someone else had 2 million. Guys, here's the thing. Again, I love to give you awesome value and awesome opinions. What I want you to understand is this is statistical data. These deals, this potential, these deals are going to happen whether with you or without you. That income opportunity is yours for the taking, should you choose to. If you choose not to, someone else is going to buy investment properties with it. Someone else is going to take their family on vacation. Someone else is going to buy their dream car. Someone else is going to remodel their house. Someone else is going to retire their parents or retire themselves. This is yours. Let no one come between you and your database. Let no one come and take the relationships that you already have, because I got news for you. There are real estate agents out there who are hungry. And if you are not guarding and protecting your flock, they're going to come take them. And what I desire to see is each and every one of you make that $1 million, make that $500,000, make whatever it is, and live that life by design. So when we're thinking about our database, understand this. If you don't have a beautifully built out database in Command yet, your contact list is your database right now. Get that puppy into Command and let's start working it. Let's get that. I want you to understand that 8% of the people with a pulse that you know are statistically going to transact real estate this year. That is exciting. People say, I joined real estate for the unlimited earning potential. Guys, there's not unlimited earning potential because there's only a certain amount of homes that are sold each year. And yet, there is more than enough money for you guys to get and live whatever you desire. Whatever you desire. Now I'm going to kick it up a notch. That's just from our contact list. I think it was Tanisha said earlier, social media. Guys, if you want to take this to the next level, go look on your social medias. See how many followers, how many friends you have. If they have a pulse, 8% of them are going to be transacting real estate. One of the benefits and the beautiful things about being with Keller Williams is you have a network of agents around the world. So it doesn't matter if they're local. It doesn't matter if you're licensed in their state. You can refer them to another agent and get that sweet, sweet mailbox money that we all love. So start to think differently. This whole thing is about thinking differently so our actions can reflect that. Now, if we've been lead generating the way we should, or the way we will, I should say, every single one of you will be making the money that you got into this business to make, maybe even more. It is as simple as making the call. Guys, write this down, tattoo this on your brain, put it on your heart. Don't play small, make the call. Don't play small, make the call. Because like Gary said, the only thing that is stopping you from your life by design is your fear of rejection, your fear of failure, your fear of success, your fear of lead generating. This is mathematical certainty. So I've been flapping my gums for a while. We've been doing a little math. Let's break it up, guys. What are you hearing? What are you thinking so far about this course, about lead generation? Let's hear some feedback. What are some ahas? Make the call, yes. Finn.
The fear of rejection is based on your worth. So don't play small, make the call.
That's right. That's right. Love that. What else? Guys, there's 113 of you, and I've only heard from 4 of you. Come on now, don't be shy. The water's fine.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. That's right. Hey, look, one of the things we're doing right now, guys, we're practicing that fear of rejection by raising our hands. Kevin.
Kind of like what he said, go big or go home, but you can go big from home.
Yes. Boom. That's what I'm talking about, Kevin. You can go big from home. That is the beautiful thing about living in 2024, guys. There ain't no horses and buggies out there. We got the internet. We got cell phones. We got connection. I see in the chat, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, one of the things that I desire you to understand with this in this aha section is that the path to self-mastery, the path to mastery of lead generation, mastery of what to say and how to say it and taking action, it takes time. Guys, it takes time. Give yourself some grace, but also carry grit with you and know that this business, truly, you are going to get out what you put in. So step up, be the person you set out to be, and let's get it done. Let's keep going. I love this so far. Next model the lead generation model itself. Now that we've begun lead generating, guys, now that we have an idea of our database, let's dig into the most important model in your business, which is the lead gen model. Guys, Keller Williams is built on systems and models because success leaves clues. We don't have to go out and recreate the wheel. We don't have to go out and start again because there's already a roadmap. It's one of the reasons that I've stayed with Keller Williams for a decade. It's because anything that I desire to do almost in this business, someone's already done it. And I can just go ask questions or look at their playbook. There's a book right here on my shelf. It says the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Playbook. I definitely suggest you guys go pick this up. It is full of one-page plays that you can run in your business very effectively, very simply. It's by Jason Abrams. It's awesome. So lead generation, man, let's keep going. Look at this beautiful, beautiful picture on the screen here. This is the lead generation model in a nutshell. Now, it may look complicated at first glance, but what I want you to understand about the model as a whole is it comes down to this one thing: relationships. Guys, we're in the relationship business. Susan Scott in Fierce Conversation says, the relationships are won or lost in the conversations that we're having. Relationships are won or lost by the conversations we're having or not having. This is a relationship game. So, as we think about relationships, as we keep moving forward, let me answer this question here. Agent Playbook. Keep in the top of your brain, keep in the reticular activation system. What you see more of is on top of your mind, right? Lead generation is simply getting into relationship with people. Now, there are two different ways to do that. These are the two main things when it comes to lead generation. Number one is prospecting. Number two is marketing. And we're going to break those down. Guys, when we focus on one or the other or both, it's when we really start to see momentum. You can never have too many leads. So we should be employing both of these strategies to our advantage. So we capture the leads. The goal of that is to get as much information as we can so we can follow up with them. What is their address? What is their email address? What is their phone number? If you can tag those three things, you have a strong shot of always staying in communication with those people. And remember, if we're not communicating with them, someone else is. On that note, let me see a hand real quick. I got a question. Who's got the answer to it? When is the best time to say, I love you? Curveball, pop quiz. When's the best time to say, I love you? Anytime, now, love it. Before someone else does. Before someone else does. All right. When we're talking about our database, the best time to love on them, the best time to show them that they're appreciated, the best time to let them know that we're in a relationship is before someone else does. Because everybody in your database, everybody that you wrote down, I got some other truth for you. In their database, they have 3 to 4 other real estate agents. It's just a fact of life. Almost everybody you know knows 3 or 4 other real estate agents. How are you going to separate yourself? We're going to do that by staying in emotional proximity of them. Emotional proximity of them for when it comes time to buy or sell. So let's dive into prospecting and marketing a little bit. Guys, prospecting, being prospecting based is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to go about building a business, especially as a newer agent. Here's why. It's low to no cost. All right. It's low to no cost. I choose to run a profitable business because I want the money from the business. I don't want to spend it on expenses. I want to keep that money. I already have to pay enough in taxes. Let's keep it. And we do that by being prospecting based. Guys, when we're prospecting based, it usually yields quality leads. Quality leads that we're in relationship with. It also establishes a personal connection. One of the highest forms of energy, even higher than gratitude, that they found is authenticity. Authenticity is one of the most attractive qualities that a person can have. How do we get authentic with people? By being in relationship, by having conversation. Guys, it keeps us in direct contact. And when we're doing a great job of prospecting, it builds our confidence, builds our skill. Now, a lot of us, especially as new agents, at least for me, I did not have a lot of confidence in this business. And I want you to understand there's this psychological loop. It's called the confidence competence loop. Confidence competence loop. The more confident you are in something, the more competent you become. The more competent you become, the more confident you can become. And so it just rolls on. So how do we get confident? We practice, we role play, we make the calls. Now, here's the difference with marketing on the other side. Guys, marketing is money intensive, like we said. It's passive, not active like prospecting is. Marketing is gathering. Marketing is waiting and hoping. Prospecting is acting. Prospecting is going out and taking action. Now, a lot of real estate agents got in trouble when we got into this shift because they were, I'm just going to say it, they got lazy. Guys, 2021, 2022, if you could fog a mirror, you could sell real estate. Just saying. I was one of them. And when the shift happened and the leads stopped flowing, those people's businesses dried up because they were too reliant on marketing and not prospecting. So I choose for you guys to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Write that down. Keep it in your brain. A great business is prospecting based and marketing enhanced. Marketing is an extra layer to our business. It is not the business. Until you have billions of dollars like Nike or Target, then you can become marketing based. And yet, if that's you on the screen, I don't know why you're listening to me. Good for you. Guys, as we continue on this journey, you're going to start to identify 3 to 5 different lead sources that yield the most return for you. Now, top agents, they like to focus on those because while we can't be great at everything, we can be great at some things, right? We can't be great at everything. We can be great at some things. So with your prospecting, what I desire you guys to do is start to identify some of those great opportunities that you have, some of those areas that you would like to be an expert in, and lean in. Play all in, man. Spend some extra quality time with it. Again, I don't just want you to be in relationship with your people. I want you to be in relationship with the skills you desire to master in this business. The most productive agents are following that model. In Ignite, we're going to mainly focus on prospecting based because we know that's a super successful, low-cost way to generate leads. The next thing is this. Guys, relationship management. This is the next side of it. I want you to understand a database is simply just a container. It's just a container for your people, it's just a place to hold them, all the information that you're going to get. But a database is not necessarily a smart database. Database is not a smart database. I want you to catch the difference here, and I'm going to read it to you. A smart database or data bank, because that's where all your money's at, allows you to have planned and meaningful communication with your database. Planned and meaningful communication with your database. Somebody pop off mute, raise your hand, and tell me the most important words in that sentence, in the smart database sentence. See what you got.
Planned.
Planned. Let's go, Serena. That's what I'm talking about. Planned. Guys, fail to plan, plan to fail. Kevin, next most important word. What you got?
Meaningful. It has to mean something to someone.
You guys are making me proud. I feel like I'm watching my kid hit a home run for the first time. Y'all killing it. That's right. Planned and meaningful. Guys, when we have planned conversation, it takes the guesswork out this business. I want you guys to be having fun, not trying to figure out everything to do every day. That database, that container, that command, especially when you put in smart plans, it tells you what to do. Make it simple on yourselves. And like Kevin said, meaningful. Guys, people don't know how much you care. I mean, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We got to be having meaningful conversations with our people. And our database is our platform for that. Now you'll see in step two, there's a difference between leads and contacts. All right, leads and contacts, there's this distinct difference here. A lead is someone that you have not necessarily started a relationship with or had a conversation with. Once we enter into conversation or enter into relationship, get some of their information, that's when they move from a lead to a contact. Notice the difference there, because a lot of people will talk about leads and I'm like, leads are great. I'd rather hear you talk about contacts because that's where the money's at. It moves down that little funnel there into step 3, which is cultivating contacts for conversion. That's interactive, right? We've got to be talking to our people. We've got to have relationship management. Relationships must be attended to and cared for and cultivated. All right. I want you to think of the contacts in your database like a garden. Okay. To have a great garden, you got to water it, you got to feed it. And every now and then, guys, again, I probably shouldn't be saying this, going to say it anyway. You got to pull the weeds out of it. You got to pull the weeds out of it. Everybody out there has a database. We've already discovered that. We've already seen the contacts. And I will be willing to bet that every single one of you has a couple names in that contact list, has a couple names in that phone book that you're like, oh my goodness, I do not want to talk to Frank. Frank just sucks my will to live. He makes my days sad. Get Frank out your database. Pull that weed out. Guys, if you are discovering people in your database that are roadblocks that stop you from lead generating, then pull them out, because at that point they're doing more harm than good. So we've got to feed it, we got to water it, and we got to weed it. We have to cultivate it. Make sure that you firmly understand that. So start thinking about this. When you look at your database, some homework for you, go on your social media and start looking for people who are on social media, yet not in your database, are on social media and not in your contacts, and start to get into conversation with them. Because again, we know by statistical certainty, 8% of them are going to buy, sell, or invest, and it's up to you to start that relationship. I've had the honor of coaching many agents, and the amount of money that they tend to find floating around their social media that was already there is staggering. In fact, there's a lady out of, I believe, South Carolina. Her name's Tally Hunt. You should go follow her on Instagram. I'm not exactly sure what her handle is, but she sells hundreds of homes, and she's only a few years in the business, and she grew it through Instagram. It doesn't matter the medium as long as we're having the interaction. That's what you guys got to take away and understand this. So now, like we're talking about right now, there are different types of communication that we can have, right? Each time that we reach out to a person in our database, they're going to either answer or not, and that's okay. The point is that we're making the reach out, right? The point is that we're making the interaction, we're putting the effort into it. So Command is going to give us coordinated efforts to touch all these different aspects of it, because some people resonate with different forms of communication. Some people resonate with handwritten correspondence. Some people resonate with face-to-face. Some people text, some people email. Guys, you as an agent, when I talk about those 3 to 5 different ways that you're going to enjoy lead generating, start to figure this out yourself. I know agents who abhor the phone, and they door knock till their feet fall off, and they're successful, but they love it. Lead generation can be fun. We just got to figure out what we desire and what we enjoy doing. Now, know this, having someone in our database doesn't make them our client. Having a meaningful relationship with them and earning the right to that business does. And we can only do that through consistent and systematic touches, or calls, or emails, or face-to-face, or text messages. Now, as we keep going, you'll see at the bottom here, the client referral loop. The client referral loop. It's called a loop because just like your best shampoo, rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. When I sell someone a home, I'm going to continue to talk to them for the rest of their lives. Because I choose to do this as a career, and I know that there is going to probably be a chance that they're going to buy or sell, or they're going to know somebody who does. And it's my opportunity to continue to talk to them. Now, when we close on them, when we get a referral from them, they go right back in the loop to our database where we have that database management. We email, text, call, and send letters to. What are we thinking? What are we feeling about all this, putting this all together? It never ends as long as we follow the loop. Talk to me, Goose. What are you guys hearing? What are you guys taking away from this? Calm
That
down, not everybody at once.
If I don't stay on top of my database, the next agent will.
Yes, indeedy. And there is nothing sadder, take it from me, than driving past a buddy's house and seeing someone else's sign in the yard.
Or going on social media and I'm seeing somebody I know holding the key at the closing table, saying I just closed on my new house. That is a gut punch.
Say it ain't so, Jesse. Say it ain't so. What else? What else you guys hearing? Finn.
Just because you have someone in your database doesn't mean that they are your client.
Mm,
You need to learn to communicate with them and stay in contact.
I love that. That's right. That's exactly right. Learn. One thing she said, guys, learn to communicate with them. Our goal in Keller Williams is to learn to earn. We're not here for funsies. We're here to learn to earn. Ebony.
Yes, I just wanted to say something about a person, a friend of mine who she had reluctance on buying a property with me because sometimes your sphere, they don't want you in their financial business. And I was looking for a workaround around that because I'm like, oh, well, I can send you right to the lender. I don't have to know, all your financials, I know I need to know the gist of it. I mean, back in the day, they used to you have to do a financial statement. Now you don't have to do it that much anymore. You just need your letter, your qualification letter. But a lot of times, sometimes when people will go out with other people that they don't know, it's because they say they don't want you in their financial business. And so you have to try to find a workaround around that to say, hey, I'm not trying to be in your business. I'm just trying to help you.
I love that. You're right. And it happens, guys. And here's the thing too, that I want you guys to understand about all this. The best conversation model in the world is not 100% effective. Sometimes, no matter what objection handler you give, people are just going to go in another direction. And one of the ways we beat that is by law of large numbers. We have enough people in our database for some of those people who just refuse to move on. A great way to get around that, though, personally, is kind of what she was saying. Is what I do is I'll say, hey, listen, Sam, guess what? Totally understand your privacy. In fact, I don't want to know your financial business. I'm actually going to put you with a professional lender, and legally, he's not even allowed to talk to me about your financial business. All I'm going to get from him is a letter that just says can buy house at this price, and that's all we're going to do. Everything else is between you and the lender. Kevin.
I was just thinking, so your database realistically is just like your songs on your iPhone. The ones you really like, you go back and revisit all the time because you put them in a playlist. So those are like contacts and leads, and you've generated and cultivated. But you need every once in a while you go back through your songs and you're like, oh man, this one right here, and then you add it to your playlist. So it's just like adding songs to your playlist.
Dude,
and you already own them. They're already there. They're free. You just need to go and add them to your playlist.
That's right. I love that, man. You're absolutely right. One of the things I will plus that statement with is also be careful, because sometimes we have this thing called call bias, confirmation bias, where we tell ourselves stories that may not be true about people in our database. So we don't talk to them the same amount that we talk to other people, and we miss deals because of that. So hit that shuffle button every now and then, right? And go, like Kevin said, be surprised by a new song. Like, hey, this is a good song. I kind of like this. And then dance your way to the bank when you close on that and do awesome for those people.
김치찌개 줘?
Hmm?
고기하고 김치찌개 조금?
Not for me. Got it. Okay, let's keep going. Your sphere of influence. As we keep moving forward, our sphere of influence, guys, it's the people in our life, the people that surround us. One of the things that I desire you to understand is it's not just the people you know. It's the people that you know that they know. That's the beauty of the sphere of influence and how it can spider web out and really change your business and your life when you firmly understand that. It's not just the people you know, it's the people that they know. And we're going to earn our right. It's our coworkers, our neighbors, our mom's friend from college. A mega agent gave me the best advice when I was looking for feedback to tell new agents. Surprise, here we are. I said, what is one thing that I could tell them? She said, this lady closes 150 homes a year herself. And she said, the number one thing I can tell them is every single person who is alive that they know goes in their database and goes on a touch plan, period. Period. Don't overthink them. Put it in there. I know I was you. My palms are going to get sweaty. I'm going to get a little anxiety about calling them. And yet you'll be pleasantly surprised when you just come from curiosity, come from contribution, and come from care, how you can start to stack people in your business and have fun at the same time. So we got to start thinking about that. So one of the ways that we can get really proactive about our database is by categorizing it. Guys, making it organized, making it useful. And now granted, it's going to take some time up front, yet it's going to serve you for years after if you put it in. So one way, yeah, Jamila.
Hey, I just wanted to, and I'm sorry, I have my video off. I have a mosquito in here trying to bite me. Sorry. Nevertheless, we do what's called DTD2. So I don't know if you guys have heard of DTD2, and that helps you to categorize your contacts and actually get them on a plan. And it's like a quarterly plan, and it actually helps you keep everything organized. So just a suggestion.
So what she did, and write this down, guys, DTD2, the letter D as in Delta, DT time D Delta 2. That is an ingenious system made by some of our MAPS coaches, Tammy Youngs and Steve Schlueter. What they did was they actually went to the United States Census Bureau and they calculated all the names, and then they weighted the names, like how many numbers are in each letter. And they created this system called the DTD2, where each week you call 2 letters of the alphabet by last name. And this allows you to not skip anybody. It also allows you to know who you're calling each and every week. Quick pop quiz, and you can throw this in the chat. How many weeks are in a quarter? How many weeks are in a quarter of the year? Thirteen is correct. Now, a little easier one for you. How many letters are in the alphabet? 26. That's right. Guys, 13 divided by, or 26 divided by 13 is 2. So following this system, it lets us talk to our entire database once a quarter. And when we talk to them once a quarter, we talk to them 4 times a year. And we found through endless study that that is one of the most effective ways and amounts to stay in that emotional proximity of people. So love the DTD2. Thank you for bringing that up. It's a great one. Guys, in your manuals here in your participant guide, when you're looking at categorizing your sphere, what I'm going to ask you to do and challenge you to do this week is look and see who you can add to your database in each one of these categories who's not in there already. See if you can start expanding on some of these roles, like your immediate family. Cool. Our friends, our relatives, our neighbors. Heck, when's the last time you talked to your neighbors? Some of us like never. I don't like Mr. Frank across the street. He's ornery. Well, Mr. Frank's going to buy and sell a home at some point. We're going to talk to him. Guys, our past coworkers, hobby and sports groups, start identifying people in the places that you like. Teachers, past, present, worship, club, volunteers, professional services. Guys, start identifying this. I guarantee you this will make, if you really take the time to look at this, it'll make your database robust. When you see things like professional services, quick note, what they mean by that is like doctors, therapists, dog trainers. When you see financial and legal services, people like accountants, attorneys, your banker, personal services, people who do your nails, your barber, your massage therapist, a trainer, a babysitter, whatever your world looks like, start to identify these people and reach out and have a conversation with them. Any questions on that before we keep going? Cool beans. Guys, we're going to build our sphere each and every day, okay? We're going to build our sphere each and every single day. Now, we've been at this for about an hour now. Tony Robbins, if you were at family reunion, talked about changing your state. When you change your state, you build your energy up. So it's about the halfway point. It's at nighttime. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to change our state. So if you guys will humor me, everybody, wherever you are, if you can get up, that's on. If not, do it in your chair. Give me a little caboose wiggle. Just wiggle your caboose a little bit. Let's get some energy flowing. Let's go. We did math. We've done a lot of learning. Look at that. Some of you guys are smiling and laughing. You see what happened? We just changed our state. And I assure you, if you do that in lead generation time, you're going to start to feel better. So just something to think about. So let's keep shifting our mindset. Now, I want to change the way you might think about lead generation. So what I'm going to have you do is play back the memory in your mind from today. When you woke up, what did you do? Who did you see? Did you go get coffee? Who did you see? Did you go to the gym? Who did you see? Did you go to the store? Who did you see? Did you go to the office? Who did you see? Start playing that back in your mind. Who did you call? Who did you talk to? Did you check your email? Did you go out for a run? Did you run errands? Did you pick up dry cleaning? Start thinking about that. And as you're playing back that tape in your head, what I want you to do is start to picture all the people that you saw or encountered. Now, when you're thinking about that, guys, each and every one of those people are a potential opportunity. It's that easy. It's that simple. Every day is your opportunity to build new relationships with people in your world. And it can be as simple as the example we heard earlier. Just striking up conversation. 3 deals out of a conversation with a stranger. Come on, somebody, that's what's up. And yet, most of us spend our lives not doing that, and then confused why we didn't make it in real estate. Guys, your homework for today, your homework for tonight is start to write those names down. Start to write those people down. Was it a barber? Did I go get coffee? Cool. If I went and got coffee, what's the barista's name? Do you even know? Have you taken the time to figure it out? What's your local cashier's name? What's your teacher's name? Your kid's teacher's name? What's your kid's coach's name? Start figuring these things out, writing them down. And if you don't know them personally yet, your job, your mission after you do your homework tonight, that I know all of you are going to do, is to strike up a conversation with those people and see where it leads. But I'm going to put an asterisk on it. Come from curiosity. Come from genuine care. Show genuine interest in the person. There's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in it, they talk about that if you show genuine interest in another human being, you'll make more friends in 2 weeks than you have in 2 years. That's it. It's as simple as that. When we think about building our SOI and building our sphere of influence, it does not have to be complicated. So keeping that idea in your mind, let's hear from some of you guys. I've heard from some of you. Some of my people have conquered the fear of rejection already. Some of my quiet ones out there, come on, let's be friends. Let's interact. Who are some people that you ran into that are not in your database that should be? No wrong answer, by the way. Let's see what you got.
I'm not sure if my hand is going up or down. This is Charlie or Sharice. I in my community, I went into some of the shopping stores here in my area. Starting with the bookstore, I asked if they had like a community board that I could post my business cards up on, and they said, "Oh yes, right there by the restrooms." So anytime anyone is going to the restroom in or out, there's my business card up there. And I also went into some of the local department stores and like any of the Ross or PetSmart stores like that, and asked if I could leave my cards in there, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, just put it on the counter." So and to add to that, I've worked in many embassies around the world, and I just don't know why. Speaking to people here in the U.S. that are my comrades and my neighbors, I don't know why that fear of rejection is there, but I can go overseas and speak to any dignitary without fear at all. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that.
First off, super cool. Awesome background. Great idea. And guys, write this down. Put it in your memory. You have not if you ask not. You have not if you ask not. She simply asked a question. The answer could have been no, but it wasn't. It was yes. And now she has marketing in multiple locations just like that from a simple conversation. And then next, Charlie, if I can share some ideas around that, some of the things that I've picked up in this coaching journey that may help you and some other people. When you get into that mindset of, man, I'm super good at talking to X person or this group of people or in another state or whatever it is, for insert this here for you, and yet I'm not with the people I know or my locals. Challenge yourself to put yourself in the mental state that you are in when you're talking to the people that you feel confident in. And ask yourself the logical question, what is different about these two people? The answer is nothing.
True, will do.
Our emotions tend to take over sometimes, Charlie. And I was the same way. Like, hear my heart. I feel you. I am you. I get it. And yet those simple tweaks, they're not easy. And yet they're simple. We just got to focus on that. Because, girl, you got all the confidence in the world going into a dignitary and telling them what's up and how you doing. Bring that to your database. Bring that sort of confident, strong business person into the people that you can reach out and touch. And it's game on for you, Charlie.
Thank you, will do. And I have a coach named Arshia. I'm sure a few others know him as well. He'll stay on me.
Let's go, Arshia. Shout out wherever you are. All right, guys, let's keep going. I am a bold coach, so I would be remiss not to tell you this bold law. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. The same thing we just talked about, Charlie. Guys, changing the way we look at things. Why do I look at it this way? How about I look at it like this? So many of us live in the fear of rejection, the fear of doubt, instead of giving ourselves the benefit of possibility. We're always worried about what could go wrong instead of what happens if it goes right. And one of the reasons behind that is, we're about to get deep here, why not? People at a psychological DNA level, we're wired for comfort. We're wired for security. We're wired for safety. And reaching out with the possibility of getting rejected disrupts that idea of safety. The perception of safety. That's the key word. Because guess what? If I pick up the phone and call somebody, I'm like, hey, and we get in a conversation and I ask them to buy, sell, or invest, and they say no, was I injured? Was I actually harmed? Of course not. It's the perception, though, that I have around it. So start changing the way you look at things with this lead generation, guys, and the things that you look at will change. Guys, if you have the opportunity to make the investment to take Bold, I strongly recommend that you do. It is one of the best ways to jumpstart your career. In fact, it jumpstarted mine. The first time I took Bold, I did not even have the money to take it. I had to max out a credit card. And now I have the opportunity to be a Bold coach and travel around the nation. You never know what you can do until you raise your hand, until you go all in. So, man, take the chance on yourself and let's get it. So what are we thinking? What are we hearing? I'll be talking a lot. I like to hear from you guys. Charlie dropping bombs on us with some awesome dignitary stuff. That's what's up. What else you got? I graduated Bold today. That's what's up, Sharita. Let's go. What are we hearing? What are we thinking? What are we learning? What are we reflecting on?
I think I'm trying to overcome the fear of not knowing everything. So like I ran into my neighbor walking my dog today, and I could have easily struck up. I mean, we did talk, but not about real estate. And so I feel like I don't have to know everything, you know, that's what is stopping me.
Cool. I love that. I think that is a totally normal fear. Anybody else shake your head if you feel that fear? Right? That's normal. Look at that. You see that? You're in good company, Tanny. You're in good company. Guess what? I'm gonna let you in a little secret. Probably shouldn't tell you this. I'm the one leading this course. I don't know everything. I don't even know close to everything about real estate. Guys, I've been in the business 10 years. It was 9 years before I knew how to get paid, before I knew how checks were processed. Like, it's a thing. It's okay. We won. My team won a referral yesterday. They were interviewing multiple agents. And here's how we won it. The guy said, hey, it's this really large land listing. I said, buddy, let me stop you right there. I don't know anything about land. And he said, wow, that's very honest of you. I said, what I can promise you is this. I will be completely honest and transparent and do the best we can for you, but I don't know anything about land. But what I do know is how to surround myself with top people who know things that I don't. And I will gladly find out anything that needs to be done. He said, that sounds great. Guys, we won the referral. And we won it. And I didn't know it, Tammy. Don't let that hold you back. The answer, listen, I don't know, is always an appropriate answer. It is always an appropriate answer. We just follow up with, I will find out. I will find out. One of the ones that I use and continue to use is, hey, listen, I work for the literal top real estate company in the world. If I don't know, someone around me does. And I'll ask. So yeah, love that. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your honesty. And guys, I don't know is always an appropriate answer. And it's just, I'm going to find out for you. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
If I can add to it, I'm coming from a consulting world, and my job was to train doctors and nurses how to use the electronic systems. And we were always taught how to say no with confidence. You always have people behind you, and it was never taken the wrong way. It was always, they were appreciative and they would wait for the answer. So saying no with confidence is definitely better than making up stuff. And
Yes.
Don't be afraid.
Solid advice. That is such good advice. Guys, saying no or I don't know is so much better than making stuff up. There is no deal, no check, no money that is worth your integrity. None. So what she said is spot on. Don't make stuff up. Just be honest and say it with confidence. One of my favorite words. Say it with confidence, and you'll be shocked at what can happen. So let's keep going so I can get you guys out of here on time. Expanding our SOI, expanding our sphere of influence. What does that look like? Well, we're going to look to add more personal information to the people that we already know. Now, we found that we had a bunch of people's phone numbers in our contacts. What we don't necessarily have is their address. We don't necessarily have their email. We don't necessarily have their job, their hobbies, their interests, their kids' names, their pets' names. Guys, it's our job to be professional gatherers of information, because when we have information, it makes us more effective. It lets us be able to stay on top of these people. There's a quick story I'll tell you about Target, and it'll change the way you think about information. Target, big grocery store shopping area, Target, if you will, for some of you. When you enter your number, when you check out at Target, it is not so they can send you a thank you card. It is so that they can gather data on your purchases. It's so they can gather data on your consumer behavior. Now, here's how powerful the data is that Target has. They take that information and they send you targeted ads that will make you buy more. They also look at your browsing history and the things that you're looking at and target you specifically with things that they think are interesting to you. Well, there's a story about a man, and he had a 13-year-old daughter. And Target was starting to mail baby stuff to her, like newborn stuff. Now, the man got really mad. He went to his daughter and said, I can't believe this company would send this to such a young person. How dare they? I'm going to go down there and give them a piece of my mind. So he goes down to his local Target, rips the general manager a new one, who, by the way, guys, had no influence whatsoever on what Target sent to the daughter. But anyway, he takes it and says, I'll put up a notice for you, sir. Don't worry about it. Comes back home all proud of himself, tells his daughter, don't worry about that. You're not going to get any of that ever again. And she goes, Dad, I'm pregnant. Target knew more about what was going on in her life than her father, because Target is paying attention. Are you guys paying attention to your database? Are you guys paying attention to the people in your world? Are we asking the questions and gaining the information? By the way, in your command, you'll start to put notes in your database for each of these people. What do they like? What are their interests? What are their life events? Where do they go to school? Where do they go to college? Do they have a cool job like talking to foreign dignitaries? Do they have a pet washing business? You guys should be making notes about all this stuff, and it happens in our conversation. Another way that we get this information, guys, it's often slept on. I'm about to drop a crazy thing on you here. You just ask. You just ask. You come from curiosity and show genuine interest in the person. Guys, knowing that someone has like some obscure hobby that they're into, if you ever come across something, send it to them. Hey, I just saw this on crocheting, was thinking about you. Boom, shoot it over to them. That helps you stay in relationship without having to be salesy or coming and just asking them for business. It lets you be in relationship by giving them the things that they desire, and yet we can't do that if we don't know the answer. So just ask, stay in touch with your people and ask them the questions. Another thing to do is strengthen our casual connections. Don't sleep on your casual connections, guys. Who is in your, who coaches your, look at this picture here. Who coaches your kids' soccer team? Any of you got kids out there? Cool. Go start working that database. You got parents, you got PTAs, you got neighbors, you got friends. Like, we should start talking to these people in person, because guess what? 8.1% of every breathing individual you're walking by in your life is going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate this year. Will it be with you? Will it be with you? Next time that you have that fear of rejection, next time you have that fear of failure, what I'm going to ask you to do is flip back into your Ignite manual and see that money that you wrote down in line F. And remember what that money is going to do for you, your family, and the people that you care about. And see if that helps you get out of that fear of rejection. Guys, another way is by joining groups. Go join groups on Facebook. Start to talk. Go join a local BNI, which is a business networking group. Heck, start one. Go to your churches. Go and volunteer. I know agents who crush it from volunteering, because one, they're filling up their soul with goodness, and two, they're just getting in relationship with people while they're doing it. Two birds, one stone. It's a great way to expand our SOI while having fun. Another one is referrals. Guys, you work, again, for one of the biggest companies in the entire world. Your sphere of influence is more than you think with anyone at KW because you're with KW. There's like 200,000 agents right now. And on command, you can actually find them all. What I'll challenge you to do is this: go find where people are moving to your area from. Go find where people are moving to your area from, go on command, find the agents in that city, and strike up conversation to be the referral partner. That's easy money right there. And guess what? They're real estate agents with KW. They know you're lead generating, they know the game, and they're happy to help because now they don't have to go find somebody next time they have a referral in your city. Money is so simple in this business if we choose to look for it in the right areas, in the right ways. Gathering leads from our sphere of influence. This is a mindset thing I want you to understand. Here's some conversations that you could be having, and I'm going to give you some ones that I think are more effective outside your book. Let's go with the book first. I'm building my business on people I know and the people they know. Do you know of anyone from family or friends, work, your neighborhood, or groups you belong to who's thinking of buying, selling a home, or investing in real estate? I'd be pleased to be a resource for them. Now, that's not bad. It's a little wordy for me. And yet what I want you guys to do is understand that it may not sound like you yet. The first time you read it, it's going to sound like you're reading it. The first time you say it out loud, it's going to sound like you just read it and you're saying it out loud. However, if you say it 500 times, your personality starts to shine through. Who makes you you starts to shine through. And that's what people are going to respond to. And guys, if you got to change a couple words in there, just do it. I mean, I don't say to people, I would be pleased to be a resource for you. That's not me. What I do say is, man, we would love to serve you and whoever. Don't let one word stop you from using the material. And make sure that what makes you special doesn't get lost in it, because that's who people want to work with. They want to work with you because you are special. You are cool. You are interesting. You do have value. You are worthy. You bring stuff to the table. The next one here says, if you hear of someone with a real estate need, will you keep me in mind and let me know right away? This is more my speed because I'm a high D. I'll give you a plus on this one. Check this out. Listen. Statistics show that you're going to find 7 people that you know who are going to be moving this year. I don't expect all of them. Can you send me one? Listen, statistics show that you're going to know 7 people who are moving this year. I don't expect all of them. Can you send me one? Guys, that one works every time. And it's a classic, what we call red herring. We're showing a huge number and we're settling on a much smaller one, which is what we wanted anyway. Is that a very difficult conversation to have? No, it's not. I'm going to give you one that absolutely dominates. So write this down because we're going to practice this stuff in the real world in a second. And this one's really good. This is for people that you already have a relationship with. Hey, Frank, I'm up at the office and I'm working on, what is it, May right now? Okay. I'm working on my sales calendar for the rest of the year. Hey, blank, I'm up at the office and I'm working on my sales calendar for the rest of the year. Do you or someone you know have a real estate need? And if so, what month so I can mark you down so that we don't miss you. Because you're important to me and I desire to take care of you. Hey, Frank, I'm up at the office. I'm working on my sales calendar for the rest of the year. Listen, real quick. Do you have a real estate need this year? Do you know anyone who does? And if so, what month? So I can write it down, because I really don't want to miss you and you're important to me. And I want to make sure that we serve you. You see how natural that sounds? Guys, you can have that conversation 500 times a day. Hey, Frank, listen, I'm up at the office right now. I'm working on my sales calendar for the rest of the year. Do you or anyone you know have a real estate need? And if so, what month? So I can write it down to make sure that we get you taken care of. You're important to me, so I want to make sure we don't miss you. Let me break that down for you psychologically. 1, it's quick. 2, we are telling them that we are a professional. Here's why. We're at the office, we're future pacing our business, and we're working from a calendar. Those things are leaving trail nuggets, and we're teaching them who we are as a professional with it. It seems small, guys, but it's mighty. Another thing is, who do you know? Because some people don't have a real estate need. Duh. People aren't moving every year. They're moving about every 8. So Frank might not have one, but his friend might. So make sure that that's in there. Another thing that we're telling him is, Frank, you're important to me. You're important to me. We're explaining to them. Someone says, makes them feel important, right? You're important to me. Make sure you say that. Here's the other piece of it that's really important. Because we don't want to miss you. Guys, Frank may have had 0% chance of using us. Frank may be like, I wasn't even thinking about using you as a real estate agent. But as soon as we take something away from somebody, as soon as we introduce pain or an opportunity to miss out on something, people are naturally triggered to fight back on that. So we're using our own human psychology in our favor. And by the way, this isn't mean, bad, or evil, because we do want to help Frank, because he is important to us and we don't want to miss him. Is that, you see what I'm saying, guys? Like, we overthink lead generation like it has to be this huge task and so hard, and it doesn't. Rachel said FOMO, fear of missing out. That's exactly right. Guys, if you say that, so good. Here's another one. I'll be real quick with this one so I can get you guys into action. This one is for all of my new agents out there who are looking to start talking to people they may not have done a good job of staying in relationship with. This works great for people you haven't talked to from like 1 year to maybe 10 years. All right. Breaks the ice every time. Hey, sorry if there's a Frank out there. I keep using your name. Can't see everybody. It's okay. Hey, Frank, listen. I was just going through my database up here at the office, man, and I realized that we haven't talked in a long time. One of my goals this year is staying in better relationship with people because I haven't done a good job of it. And I would like to do a better job of it. Man, how are you? Hey, Frank, I'm up here at the office and I just came across your name. I realize we haven't talked in a while. And this year I have a goal of staying in touch with people more because I haven't done a good job of it. How are you? That conversation crushes it. Here's why. It makes Frank feel important. It also assumes the blame. You're taking the blame out of it. One of the reasons that people don't have conversations over a long time is because they're like, oh no, it's going to be awkward. When we assume the blame, when we take that elephant out of the room, it removes the power from it. And it makes the other person feel more comfortable. Frank knows he's just as much to blame too. He didn't call you. But when you assume the problem, it's okay now. Now, mind you, make a note here. This is not a business conversation. This is a relational conversation only. Because if you make that call and you shove business into it, you're going to come off as disingenuous and you're going to ruin that relationship further. All right. So keep it just relational. The next call or the next 2 calls with Frank is when we'll start to introduce business. Does that make sense? Cool. So again, it's, hey, how are you? I'd like to stay in more touch. I haven't been in touch. I've done a bad job of it. I have a goal of staying in touch with more people. How are you? And then really just come from care. See how he is. See what's going on. So what are we thinking about any of those conversations? Any ones we like, any ones we don't like? Anybody have some inflections or some pluses or some additions, or maybe I'm missing something? What do you guys got?
My neighbor, I know she just got married a year ago. So, and I noticed that she's had a team of repairmen over in her townhome. So I sent her an email or a chat saying, hey, congratulations. I know you're coming up on your 1-year anniversary, with the little rose after the paragraph, and let her know that I just got my license, and hey, if you have the opportunity to share my information, I would like to add you into my database. And if you can share my information with your friends and family, that will be great. And I look forward to talking with you soon. So enjoy your anniversary on your 1-year anniversary, something like that. I put in the chat, but yeah.
That's awesome. Charlie, do I have enough emotional capital with you right now to add some additions to that or some ideas around it?
Yes.
Cool. I don't know if you said this all in one. If you did, guys, try not to do that all in one message. Break that up. The content is great, but break it up into multiple messages throughout the conversation. Right? Make it more conversational, because when we send big messages, it tends to shut people down psychologically. They tend to turn off. So great content, Charlie. If you didn't, in the future, try to break those up with a response like, hey, happy anniversary, thinking about you guys today. Are you celebrating? Then see what she says and then play on it and then slide that. Man, look, I would love to help you guys for anything. I also keep me posted on those renovations. Are they cool? What are you guys doing? Right? Come from curiosity, and it's super effective. Thank you, Charlie. That was awesome. Geraldine.
I was just thinking about your conversation when you were calling Frank, but I would like for me, I feel like if it was someone I haven't talked to in a long time, just say like, oh God, the last time I saw you was at Sarah's wedding. And I just was thinking about you. I was going through my contacts. You came up. I haven't talked to you. What's going on? That feels more like me.
Cool. Apologize for losing touch.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I haven't called you sooner. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Do just like that. And then just get into a relational contact. Guys, all this is going to do is just bring them back into someone that we can have normal conversations with. And in her database, especially if we adapt the DTD2 system, she's going to talk to that person in like 12 or 13 more weeks. So enough time goes by that it seems like a genuine reach out again. So that's great, Geraldine. I love that. All right, guys, this is what we're going to do. Changing our state. We're about to get weird here, about to get interesting. For the next 10 minutes, I got 6:33 on the clock. Wherever you are, I don't know what time it is. Hopefully it's not 10:33. We are going to text message people. We're going to text message them. Before I go any further, Lydia, question, comment, concern?
Yeah, sorry, I return back to the Frank conversation. Like if we are calling that person that we have not stayed in touch with, and that person was asking about us, like on a personal or professional level, it's safe for us to introduce our business to them, correct?
Lydia, thank you so much for bringing that up, because yes, asterisk, it is not a business conversation yet And so if they, hey, what's up with you? I am 1000% about to drop some Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs to lead them to my business. Oh man, just been busy with real estate. It's crazy. The news says all these things, but man, we're looking at houses every day. Anyway, what are you up to? So I'm going to drop a nugget and then I'm going to pull back so it doesn't go too far down the business rabbit hole. If you see what I'm
Gotcha.
saying, like our goal is to kind of lead them in there, but not be overbearing with it because it truly is a relational call. And we do want to just reinvigorate that relationship. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Awesome. My pleasure. All right, guys, 6:34 on the clock. We are going to message, or I guess 7:34 if you're Eastern. We're going to message people for 10 minutes. We're going to get out of our fear of rejection. I'm going to sit here and stare at you awkwardly to make sure that you're doing it, because that's what accountability is like. And what I'm going to ask you to do to give us some juice here. And because we're text messaging, we're going to pick one of those messages or one of your own, and we're going to do that for 10 minutes. We're going to send them out. My goal is to have each and every one of you have at least 10 conversations started with people. Now, since we are gearing into it, I'm going to let you choose if they're business oriented or relational oriented. I don't care either way. My goal is to get you into the habit of having conversations, and we'll build on that habit. If you're nervous right now, raise your hand. Cool. There's like 3 honest people here. Awesome. Everyone else who just lied, shame on you. Guess what, guys? Again, if you want to keep it relational, totally cool. My goal is for you to start getting into the habit of conversation. And I'm going to put in the chat some things that you can start talking about. And it's called FORD: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. This is a framework for conversation that you can have with them. Ask them how their family is. Ask them how work is. Here's why it's important to ask them how work is. The natural flow of conversation, kind of what Lydia alluded to, is that they're going to ask you, how's work for you? And this is where you're going to drop some little breadcrumb. Oh man, real estate's been so cool. I'm learning so much. I'm so busy, blah, 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 whatever it is. Just a couple breadcrumbs, not, I have no idea what I'm doing. Everything's on fire. The market sucks. Do not say that. People don't want to work with those people. You don't want to work with those people. So we're going to give them some strength points. Love my new brokerage. It's awesome. I'm learning so much, man, surrounded by top performers, whatever it is, and then move on to the next question. Hey, it's summertime. You guys have any fun plans? Recreation. So again, we're going to get in, we're going to get out. So 6:37 on the clock now, 10 minutes, ready, set, go. When you have a response, come off mute and just say, response, and we're going to get this going. This is how we're going to keep track. That's it. And I'm going to sit here and watch it. Guys, let's go. Let's go. Don't look at me. Look at your phones. Text. Typey. Again, let's have some fun. It's okay. And I'm here this entire time. We're going to be going for 10 minutes. If you got a question, response, let's go. If you have a question, come off mute, ask me. I'm here for you, here to coach you up. If you want me to yell at you, I can do that too. Some people respond to different things. You just let me know what you need. Let's make it happen, Cap. Don't play small, make the call. Or the text, just kidding. Response, Kate, that's what's up. Response, yes, let's go. I wish I was like a DJ and had like some sound effects going on here. Bing, bing, bing. I lied to you. I actually do have sound effects. I have a bell from the bold room. So here we go. Response. Boom. Let's go. My bell wants to eat. Hey, how's your family? How's your mom and them? How's little Susie? How are your kids? Did your kids graduate? What's going on? How are you? Boom, there's another response. Thank you, Launder. Look at us having fun. Some of you guys are even smiling. That's what I'm talking about. I see you, Tammy. There you go. There you go, Kevin. Seven minutes. Make it count. Response. Bing. My bride is going to be like, did I hear a bell? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Response. Thank you. Response. Boom. Look at that. That's what's up, people. That's what I'm talking about. Let this bell ring. You're doing it. This is all. How's your mom? Response. Good job, guys. What are you guys doing for fun this summer? How's work? You been busy? Response. Response. Good job. All real estate is at the highest level is simply just talking to people. The quicker we get that, the quicker we get to success. What are you guys doing for fun this summer? Another response. Good job, Colin. Charlie response. Bing. Good job, Charlie. This is fun. 2 for 2. That's what I'm talking about. It's almost like it works, guys. I'm telling you, 2. Almost immediately. Let's go. Let's go. Remember, our goal is 10. Our goal is 10. Move those thumbs. Fast and Furious style. Ooh, 2. I see you. Let's go. I see you. Got a bunch of people hiding from me with their cameras off of my good people. Response, Sonia. 3. Let's go. Good job. Good for you. Fighting for your business. One step closer. Each conversation is one step closer to a deal. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, guys. Response, Kevin. Response, Carol. Look, that's a victory bell right there. Let's go. Up to 4 people, Tammy. Booyah. I love making people money. Let's do it. Couple more minutes, couple more minutes. Remember, don't play small, make the call. Send the texty text. Tell Frank, what's up? I've done a poor job of keeping in touch. How are you? Response, boop, love it. 2 more minutes. Let's go. Let's make it work. 2 more minutes. At least 4 more messages. Fire them off. Don't think about it. When in doubt, text it out. Response. Hey, Ham. That's what's up. I don't know why I'm whispering, but it feels right. It feels right. Response, Charlie. One more minute. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Response, Kevin. Let's go. Let's go. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Left a voicemail. I'll take it. I'll take it. Response. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Response, boom, Yolanda, thank you for sending it out. Guys, welcome back. Good job. Good job. To those of you who played all in, guess what? You're still here. No one died. We're still breathing. We just talk to people. That's all it is. It's okay. You can feel nervous sometimes. Guys, courage is about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Boats, ships, they're safe in harbor, guys, but that's not what they were built for. You guys are powerful beyond imagine. Just believe in yourself. Get out of your own head and let's start making some money together in a fun way. It seemed to me, and you could call me biased, it seemed like most of you guys maybe had a little fun doing this. Maybe felt a little anxiety, and yet we had some fun. I want to touch on that. It's important the environment that we surround ourselves with when we're doing the lead generation. People that we surround ourselves with. If you guys surround yourself with other people who are doing it, it can be fun. Colin, response, I see you. Good job. Also, man, if you're sending out text messages, put on your favorite jams. Like old Kev was talking about earlier, man. Put on your favorite jams, have some good energy, change your state, and get into action. That's it. We are going to talk to people every single day for the rest of our career. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be a fun thing. My business completely changed when I realized that I could just be my goofy old self and have fun. One of the top, and I'll give you this one too before we move on, because we're about out of time. Before we move on, one of my top things that I do for lead generation, guys, if you are goofy or fun, every major holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, 4th of July, whatever you're into, I will send a 10-second personalized video to people in my database. And it goes just like this. Don't overthink it. Hey, Frank, what's up, man? Kyle, listen, I was thinking about you today. It's Christmas time. Merry Christmas, man. Have a good one. Send. That's it. It's so different from a text message. It's for some reason so much more personal because they can see your face, they can hear your voice and your tonality, and so they can feel your attitude more. And yet it's so simple. And if that's not your thing, that's okay. Just an idea. Now, if you guys will do me the privilege and the honor, you see a QR code here on the screen. Can you scan that for me and leave me some feedback from this class? I've got to get some more reviews to chase down master faculty to be the youngest one they got. And we're going to do that. So if you guys can take some time real quick for me, scan that and leave some feedback. I left the notes in there. The event type is virtual. If you don't know yet, my name is Kyle Evans. And this is Ignite Session 5. Ignite session 5. I do believe, don't quote me, 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. Trust your heart. Wink. And do what some of you laugh too hard at that, guys. Some of you laugh too hard at that. Thank you, Candace. I appreciate sharing. So we're going to do this review real quick. Then we are going to touch on a few more things. I'm going to send you on your way. And before you leave, I'm going to give you my contact information. If you have any more questions, you want to learn some more about some stuff, give me a shout, man. I love helping people. I love talking to you guys. My purpose and my passion is coaching. So you're not bothering me. You're letting me do my purpose. I'm bombarded with replies. I totally need this. Let's go. That's my trophy for today. Come on, somebody. Again, man, when we start just laying those breadcrumbs about business and we don't necessarily come in all strong and huge, and we can just casually be into relationship with people, that's when it's fun, man. That's when it's a good time. I am not the salesy sales, push it down your throat guy. I want to treat people like they desire to be treated, and I treat them like they're important. And that's where my business turned around. So do it for yourself, guys. So let's talk about some best practices real quick before we move forward. Lead generation best practices. Number 1, track your lead sources. And what I mean by that is, where are they coming from? Were they a referral? Were they from a Facebook ad? Were they from church? Were they from your work? Were they from a past client? Whatever it is, track your sources. And because that leads us to number 2 is auditing our lead sources. We track our lead sources so we can figure out which ones are giving us the highest ROI, the return on investment. Now, return on investment is not just money. It's also time. How much time are we spending on certain things, right? So make sure that we're tracking our lead sources 1, and then we're auditing our leads 2. Highest quality leads versus highest quantity leads. Well said, Rochelle. And number 3, diversify your database. Guys, there are so many different people in so many different walks of life. Diversify your database. There are so many people out there, and they all need real estate help. And number 4, most importantly, be consistent, y'all. Do it every day. Do it every day, even when you don't feel like it. Do not let your emotions stop you from your greatness. Do not let the stories you tell yourself stop you from achieving what's possible. Be consistent in the practice. Now, one of the things with consistency is we've got a time block. It's got to make our calendar. So what it says, number 1, is we're going to prepare. Prepare our mindset first. We've talked about that, right? Get in the flow. We're going to practice what to say and how to say it. And then we're going to make a call list in advance. So many agents waste so much time during their lead gen block by figuring out who to call. Make your call list in advance so you're intentional with your time. Number 2 is take action. Got to have the conversation. If we want to be at the dance, we got to do a little boogie. So you're going to have to make the dance happen. And number 3 is maintain. That is when we are following up with our database over time. We're entering the notes. Remember, we're watering it, we're feeding it, and we're weeding it. Now, distractions are going to happen. See, Jenny's got a beautiful kid over there on her lap. Distractions are going to happen, guys. I got 2 of them myself. So I'm going to give you some ways to battle distractions. Number 1 is build a bunker. A bunker is simply a safe place. A bunker is a place to where you can be focused, whatever that looks like for you. Number 2 is store provisions. People overthink this. I don't necessarily mean you need 1,000 pens ready to go. I mean, give yourself no reasons to get up. If you're a thirsty fella, have some drinks nearby. If you're a hungry gal, have some snacks ready to go. Whatever it is that keeps you in your seat for 2 to 3 hours, have it near you. That's all. We are going to eliminate distractions from ourselves. Number 3 is sweep for minds. Minds, guys, is your Facebook, your Instagram, your emails, whatever it is that takes you from it might be a cat video on YouTube, whatever you're into, sweep for those distractions before you sit down and block that time like your business depends on it, because it does. And number 4 is enlist support. Guys, I want you to understand this. Nobody succeeds alone. Nobody. So whether that be a friend, a family member, your spouse, your coach, your TL, your teammate, whatever it is, enlist support to help hold you accountable to block that hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. So that's it for today, man. Let's hear some wrap up. Let's hear some ideas, what you guys are thinking about the session, any nuggets of wisdom you have. I know you guys have another session, I believe, tomorrow, maybe. So what are you thinking? What are your takeaways? What are we going to put into action?
Well, you already put us into action.
Yeah, let's go. What are we gonna do?
I'm answering text still. Like I'm still.
Oh, love to hear that. That's what's up.
Yeah, same.
Awesome, guys. That's awesome. See, it can be so simple if we let it be. Kev.
By sending out that text message to a guy that I used to work with who's retired, just found out that recently, within the last 6 months, he sold and bought another home. And that was just from sending a simple message. Hey, how are you? Haven't heard from you. Hopefully everything is well. And he'd been to vacation to 3 different countries, moved. I mean, all this stuff.
Kevin, let that be an expensive mistake you never repeat.
Well, wasn't licensed when he did all that, but got it.
I just reconnected with one of my kids, a mom from one of my kids' preschool days, and they're in middle school, and she was like ecstatic to hear from me, and it just really gave me some confidence. Because I felt like so weird about reaching out to people that you haven't talked to in 10 years and be like, hey, what's going on? Like, that's just weird. Hi. But it felt great. And I'm going to use this for sure. Thank you.
Let's go. Love that. Guys, just be a person. That's it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just be, guess what? The people you're talking to, they're just people too, with their own hopes, fears, dreams, goals. Like, just treat them like someone of value that you care about, and you will be shocked at what happened. Look at that baby. Look, Jenny's baby right there. That baby got some takeaways. That baby got some ahas right there. That's a smart kid leaning in to get some more knowledge. Anything else, guys, before I send you on your way? Cool. Well, make sure you're following that success system. All right. Make sure that you're having those conversations each day. You're adding contacts to your database each day. You're handwriting note cards each day. And you're on that social media engagement. Remember, 10-5-1. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to put my information in the chat box here. Pop me an email if you want to connect or you want to learn more or whatever it is. You can find me at Coach Kyle Speaks on the grams. Oops, that was a direct message. My bees. Hold on now. Everybody calm down. I'm coming. Love there to be there for you guys. And if you got any referrals for Baton Rouge and New Orleans area, give me a shout out. Cannot wait to see you at Mega Camp. If you're going to be there in August, come find me and say what's up. Guys, have a great night, man. You did it. You came, you learned, you got into action, you chose to do something different today. Let's go. I'm proud of you for making this journey, and let nothing stop you, man. It's it. You're here. Go on now. Have fun.
Thanks, Kyle.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.